Hi, I'm Melissa Chalker, Executive Director of the New Jersey Foundation for Aging. Welcome to Aging Insights. Aging Insights is a production of the New Jersey Foundation for Aging. Our mission is to improve aging in New Jersey and help older adults live in the community of their choice. Aging Insights is supported through sponsorships and viewer donations. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor, please go to our website at www.njfoundationforaging.org or call us in the office at 609-421-0206 for more information. Today, our guests are Dennis McGowan and Louise Rush from the New Jersey Division of Aging Services. They both have been on our show before. However, we're happy to invite them back to remind our audience of the great services that they provide and also tell us about some new things going on. So welcome to both of you. Thank you for taking time to join us. As I mentioned, about a year ago or so, you were both here with us before to talk about some of the things going on, and we're always happy because we want to remind our audience of the great work that you do and what's available to them as they grow older here right in New Jersey. So Louise, I wanted if you could just start by explaining the role of the division and reminding our audience of the work that you do there.
Yes, the Division of Aging Services, we're 61 years old this year, and so we've been around for a long time. Mm-hmm. And we're the central agency that oversee our AAAs and our ADRCs that provide services and programs for the state and for our senior population. Mm-hmm. We look at our aging population and see different aspects of growing older, whether it's health or whether it's social or economic needs, housing. So we look at basically all the needs of the aging population, and in the department and if within the division, we're here to help.
No, I think that's great, and 61 years is great to know that the government has been responding for that long to the needs of older adults in our community. What our audience might not know in terms of government structure is, some of that is related obviously to the Older Americans Act and designating the division as the state unit on aging, if that's the correct term, right?
Yes.
And so you mentioned that part of the role of division is to oversee AAAs and ADRCs. If we could just remind the audience what they are, so that they know that those are their county offices on aging, right? It's like that I mentioned in the open of the show as well, right?
Sure. Yes. The AAAs is known as the Area Agencies on Aging, and the ADRC is the Aging and Disability Resource Connection, and so they are located in each of our 21 counties, and we in the division call them our boots on the grounds. Mm-hmm. They're in the community talking with their seniors, and they provide many services through the state and through the Older American Act, all right, but they also provide other services through their counties. Mm-hmm. So all types of services that if you go, as a senior, you can learn what's out there for you.
I think one of the most important things that we always like to remind people of, sometimes we get calls in our office of people looking for help, and we always tell them to call their county office on aging first, because to us, as you said, it is the boots on the ground, it's that first line of contact. And one of the most important things to do is just provide information. If you call and you don't know where to go for something, your county office on aging is going to know where to direct you, even if it's not something that they do in their office. So that's what we always like to remind people to go there for those things. So it's great to know that that the division is working closely with those counties to make sure that those programs and benefits are being provided to people. The last time you were here, primarily, I think you were talking about pharmaceutical assistance, if that's correct. And so if you could just remind people of what those programs are that are provided in terms of people receiving assistance from pharmaceutical help. Dennis, I don't know if you want to jump in on that one.
Yeah, I'll start with that. We're fortunate in New Jersey, we have a few different programs that help folks. Back when they started the casinos in New Jersey, they started taxing the casinos, and a portion of that goes to senior and disability benefits. So we created a number of programs back then. So one is called the Pharmaceutical Assistance for the Aged and Disabled program, and that's really the mothership. That's the still the most generous state prescription drug assistance program in the country. So if you're eligible for that program, you pay only $7 or $5 for your medications, depending whether they're generic or a brand name. And we have over 117,000 people on that program right now, but we always know there's more people who could join.
Right. Yeah.
And then we created another program. Not we. The state created another program.
You can take called Senior Gold.
And Senior Gold took the income limits of PAD and raised them by $10,000. So it brought in a whole nother group of seniors who could get a state prescription drug assistance program. Right. And then, of course, since those programs were created, and they were at the time the only game in town for New Jersey, Medicare then created its own Medicare Part D drug prescription assistance program and a little assistance program that goes with that called a low-income subsidy. Right. So there's these 4 different programs out there, and we coordinate all of them together through one application and also helping people apply for all of them.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think that's great, and I always like to remind people about those pharmaceutical assistance programs because, as you said, they're very generous and very helpful. And so, but with that, you have to be eligible in order. It's not just, everybody gets it. There are some eligibility criteria. Can you tell us a little bit about who might be eligible for those programs?
I can. It's seniors, 60 and older, right? Or 65 and older?
65 and older.
65 and older. Resident of New Jersey, 65 and older. And then there's income limits only. There's no asset limit, so it's based only on income.
PAD is the eligible limit for a single person is up to $27,951, and for a married couple is up to $34,268. And we also, you can be disabled if you're 18 and up to 64. Okay. So that's the kind of the criteria. And to be eligible for the pharmaceutical assistance and the Senior Gold program, which Dennis mentioned, you also, if you're eligible to enroll in Part D, you must enroll in Part D. So that's the kind of like the 5th requirement.
Right. And that's, good to mention that even though Medicare is a federal benefit, there is help within state government in figuring out how to utilize your Medicare benefit and how to get assistance with it. I know there are, we can also mention that there are the Medicare savings programs which help people pay for their premiums if they're income eligible. And that's all information that you can get, by calling the division and talking, or even talking with a SHIP counselor, finding a SHIP counselor, right? Yeah. Could one of you just remind our audience what SHIP is, since I mentioned it?
Yeah. It's the State Health Insurance Assistance Program, and this is a national program. They go by different names in different states. Right. So I think Philadelphia's is called, or Pennsylvania's called a Prize. Okay. So they have different names, but ours is SHIP. We stay with the federal name. And what that is a program where we have counselors in all 21 counties. A lot of them are in your county office on aging. So again, when you say make that county office on aging your first call, you'll either have the SHIP person there or they'll be able to direct you to a SHIP person. And we have about 500 trained counselors. They go through a 7-day training on Medicare, and twice a year they go to update training because Medicare is always changing, new things are coming in. Right.
I mean, just this year there was a change to the enrollment period for Medicare Advantage, right?
Advantage.
Yeah. So, everyone's so used to the traditional open enrollment period for Medicare, and so it's good to stay up on those changes and to know that they can always contact their county office on aging or the division to find out
and the counseling
about
is free,
those things.
and it's unbiased, so they don't work for an insurance company.
Right.
So they can tell you what 3 good options are, and then they let you choose.
Right. Yeah, so it's just about getting the information, not about swaying you one way or the other, which is really important to mention that.
And let me, before we go further, one of the other things, if you are enrolled in the PAD program, we do work with the Medicare Part D program. We partner with them, okay? And because we partner with them, the PAD will pick up your premium for the Medicare Part D plan that you choose, also the yearly deductible and the co-insurance. So again, it's worthwhile to enroll in PAD and with the Part D because you're covered all the way around.
Exactly, and so that's a great point to make, that if you are income eligible, if you fall within those guidelines, that it's a really great program to take advantage of. And we know, right, Dennis, that there are often a lot of the programs that are available are sort of under-enrolled in, underutilized, is that correct?
Yeah, that's definitely getting the word out and getting seniors to understand it's a benefit, and getting their caregivers to hear about it and realize, because so many seniors struggle through whatever issue they're going through, and then by the time they come to the attention of an agency that can help, they've already put themselves in financial trouble, or the mortgage is facing foreclosure. That's unfortunately sometimes when they come to us. Right. So you really need to reach out to that county office on aging the first time you have a problem with your heating bill, or the first time you have trouble getting to a doctor because you don't have transportation. Find out early what the benefits could be, and these prescription drug assistance programs and the Medicare assistance programs are definitely underutilized.
Yeah. And I think that's a really great reminder, and one of the reasons why we love to welcome you back to the show is because we want our audience to know that these services are available so that they can call upon you and not wait till a crisis period, so that they can find out information ahead of time, because even though they might not realize it, they might be eligible for something and be able to get some help. So my next line of questioning involves applying for these programs and how someone does that. And I understand there's a new way to apply for, and that includes these pharmaceutical programs as well in the new application?
Yes.
Yes. So
yes.
tell us about that, what that's called and how it works.
Sure. We had an application in New Jersey that was in paper only, and we called it the universal application because a few years ago we added the Medicare savings programs questions in there. So it's one kind of long application. But even then, we say don't get discouraged because like one page just asks you for your address. It's just in large red boxes. So you're kind of like, oh my God, this is such a long application. But really, it's 3 or 4 questions on each page, and then you turn. But that was the only way to get to us. So you had to have a paper application, know where to get a paper application. You know, we supply all the pharmacies, the offices on the aging, all the senior centers. But when they run out or get new staff, they forget the applications exist and the program exists. So we wanted to give people a new way to find us. So we've put the application online, totally fillable and submittable online.
Right. And you're calling that NJ Save? Is
NJ
that's
Save.
the program name for this new application? Yes. And so what can people apply for through the Save program?
On the paper application that Dennis mentioned, you could select 3 choices: pharmaceutical assistance, utility, and your Medicare savings. For this application, there's no selection. You know, when you fill out the application, we, the system, and staff will determine what you're eligible for because you're, you know, based on your income or your asset. So programs like the PAD program, the Senior Gold program, there's the Medicare Savings Program, which is the SLIMB, which is the Specified Low Income Medicare Beneficiary, and then it's the SLIMB Qualified Individual, all right? The Lifeline Program, which is the utility assistance that the state provide. There's the Low Energy Heating Assistance Program, LIHEAP. There's the Universal Service Fund program, and there's also the hearing aid program. And we also will refer you if you're interested in SNAP, the New Jersey SNAP program. Right. And so there's many, many programs there. And if you're eligible for low-income subsidy, which is the Medicare low-income, we also will supply that information to the federal government so that they will enroll you into the Medicare low-income subsidy program.
So this is what's great, I think, about this, is that, as Dennis mentioned, some of the programs are underutilized or people might not realize that they're eligible for it. So if they fill out the NJ Save application, they don't have to say in particular they need help with utilities or they need help with food assistance. Correct. They just fill out the application, and then when it's submitted, the staff is determining which programs they fit into the
Correct.
guidelines for, and then are they automatically processing those, or are they contacting applicants to let them know which programs they've qualified for?
It's automatic.
Yeah.
There is sometimes we need to get back to a citizen because they didn't give us proof of residency or some other thing we need. But even that now can be submitted online. So if they scan or even just take a picture of a bill that we're requiring, they could upload that if they know how to do that. If they don't know how to do it, they can go to their county office on aging and they'll help them do it. Right. Or a caregiver. And right now about 40% of the applications we're getting in online are with the assistance of a caregiver or a professional. Wow. So. Yeah,
I think that's another great benefit of it, is that allowance that someone else can help, which I want to get back to before we move away from what they can apply for and how the application itself works. Louise, you mentioned the SNAP program, which I want to remind the audience is the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program.
Yes.
And while that's a program that's run in a different division within state government, because the eligibility guidelines might be similar to some of your programs, you're sharing information with that division to make sure that people who are eligible get enrolled in that program as well.
Yes.
As we know, food plays such a role in our health,
yes.
and so it's important to make sure that we're still connecting seniors to those programs as well. So I think it's great that that is showing how the different divisions within state government are working together to meet the needs of the population as well. But let's get back to this, how the application itself works. So you mentioned previously it was just paper application and it was lengthy. Now, online, it's still a little bit lengthy,
A little
right?
bit lengthy, yeah.
But it's because you need that information to make sure people are qualified for the program.
Right.
But you know, what are some of the benefits to doing it online versus that paper application per se?
A couple things. One is we do ask folks to create an account so that there's an email connection, and then they actually get sent the password to their email, and then they can go in, and then they've created their own account. So one thing is they can come back and forth to the application and fill it out over time. So let's say they get to a certain page and they realize, oh, I might be eligible for this benefit and I need a bank statement, but I don't have my bank statement. They can log off, go to the bank on Friday, come back and do that again. Or with that account, their relatives can also help. So if the daughter's living in Chicago and mom's filling it out and is, I'm stuck, the daughter can log in as the mom, help complete that application, and then have the mom submit it.
I think that's great to know that 40% of the applications you're getting in right now are coming from people who are helping someone to fill out the application, which I think is another great opportunity.
Right.
Not that they couldn't have with the paper, but as you said, with distance and other things, this makes it easier for them to do that. And so, how, you know, if you've seen yet, I mean, I know this is just what rolled out in October.
Right.
Is that right? Of 2018. So. Have you seen an increase in applications with this program yet, or is it kind of slowly creeping?
Yeah, just a slight increase, maybe 300 or 400 in one program, 300, 400 in the other as well. But so far, 2,000 people have applied online, so it's a good number.
Yeah, it is a good number, and you know, as you were saying, it does also help for people to be able to assist with filling out the application. And so, I believe you also are. If, say, I'm a social worker that works at a senior center and I want to help someone fill out an application, you know, there's some training available to help them as well to fill out the application?
Yes, for the worker portal side of it, we do have to pay for individual licenses. So we haven't gone to the senior centers yet, but we've gone to our major partners, which are the county offices on aging and the SHIPs.
Okay.
So they each have a couple licenses each, and of course our workers do too. So we take some applications on phone even at our office.
Even at your office, that's great. You know,
But we also have a tutorial for anyone who's trying to, you know, go in and say, how should I fill out this application? You watch it, and you'll be able to do that.
that's actually a really great thing to
Yeah.
know, that if I'm, you know, filling out the application for someone else or for myself, that if I'm really concerned with how does this work, there's a tutorial I can watch online that
Yes.
shows about that. And, you know, I mean, I'm sure people watching at home are thinking, oh, this sounds like, you know, it might be really involved. There might be a lot of information I have to give. Do you have any idea of how long approximately it might take somebody to fill out the application and go through the process?
I think we're estimating between 20 minutes and 40 minutes, depending on what kind of documents they need to put on.
And whether it's a single person or a married couple,
Yeah, that makes
you
a
know,
difference as well.
and how much money.
Yeah.
You know,
and what kind of,
so,
as Dennis said, the type of documentation you have to provide. Yeah,
But
that's
one
true.
of the things we're also trying to do is to alleviate the burden of having to submit all the documentation. So we are actually implementing verifications to a certain income so that the applicant will not have to supply documentation like Social Security, monthly amount, or stuff of that nature, bank accounts. We can find tax returns. We can find that stuff out. But there's still some things that we do not have access for, like your veterans statements or life insurance, stuff like that we don't have. But it does cut down on the amount of documents a person will have to supply.
Right, and in addition, you know, the benefit of being online is that, as Dennis said, you can, if you have the ability to scan a document in, or you can just take a picture of it. I mean, with smartphones, you know, even if you yourself don't have one, if a family member or somebody can take a picture and upload it, rather than with the paper having to get so many copies of things and send them out, and oh, did I copy this, and which things do I have? It's a little bit easier that way, and I think the other benefit, and again, creating the account, while people might be leery of having to register and do those sort of things, it does allow for that follow-up, right? So if I've done the whole application and I'm registered and I submit my application, what happens next? Do I get a confirmation that my application's been submitted? Is there some follow-up that's there?
Yeah, that's the first really big thing is once you've sent it, you get a confirmation number, and that's wonderful because right now, you know, you'll mail a paper application and you don't know when it gets to us, when it starts being processed. Now you've got a confirmation and you've really got like a start date for that application. one of the things we're building into the system is eventually with that confirmation number, the citizen will also be able to track it a little bit in the system. They can log back in, give that confirmation number, and follow it. So this is a system that's rolling out and being developed as we go along. We wanted to get it out as soon as we could, so it's out there now.
No, and I think that's one of the great things is that, you know, this is something that has the potential to do even more, but right now it's at least making this more available to people and maybe making the process of applying a little bit easier by being able to do it online versus paper.
Correct.
But there are some other things down the line that you could incorporate into it to make it even easier for people, right? And make it more, and also easier for the division on your end in processing some of these things, right?
Right, and even though we don't have everything all automated right now, we still will send out a disposition of, you know, whether you are eligible for one program or all programs. And if not, what the reason was, because you weren't eligible. So you'll still get that documentation. And if we need additional documentation, that all will go back out to you. But we are, as Dennis said, working where all of that's automated through the system. But,
yeah, and that would be great, as Dennis said, to go in and put in the confirmation number and be able to see the progress of it. But at least now you have that confirmation number and you could still call and ask for updates or find out information. And so has this changed at all the wait time to find out if you're eligible? What should someone expect if they submit an application? How long should it take before they hear whether they're eligible for programs or not?
well, between 30 and 45 days, I would say is a fair amount of time.
Sure. You still
The
got
process
manpower
application.
things on the other end, and people need to process the applications and get all that stuff situated, right?
Right.
Yeah. So much like being here today on the show to share this information, you are doing some other outreach, and you want to talk a little bit about what you're doing to spread the word about NJ Save around the state?
Sure. We have a grant from the federal government to promote some of the programs that are in this application, the big two being the Medicare Savings Program that helps you save on your Part B premium.
Right.
So that comes out of everybody's Social Security check, and it's $135.50 a month. So if we can get that money back to you, it's a really big savings. So if we can get you that program and a low-income subsidy, so the federal government has given all the states special grant dollars to promote those programs. So we've used some of those dollars to promote NJ Save. So we have posters and table signs, and we've done speaking engagements. We basically did mailings to every pharmacy, hospital, senior center, of course, the AAAs, the Offices on Aging, all those across the state, giving them applications, giving them access back to us if they need more. And we're going around the state doing presentations. So we have, as of this morning, we have 64 scheduled going into the summer. So we've actually had to recruit other people in the division who haven't spoken before, and even our department's communications team has jumped up and they've taken a couple of them. So, you know, we're trying to do 2 a day, so we can do 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon and make the most of our time.
Yeah. So much like that purpose, we want our audience to know that if you think you might be eligible for programs or that you think you might need assistance to, you know, to go and how do they find NJ Save online? Is there a dedicated website to that, or?
Our website for the division is probably the best one to give, and it's simple. It's www.aging, as in getting older, .nj.gov. And if you go there, you'll see the NJ Save logo. It's, you know, primary on the thing. Some folks may want to read more about it before they go right to the application. So the link there takes you to the information page for NJ Save, and there's a link there that takes you to the actual online application. So
And is that where you would find the tutorial that Louise mentioned as well?
the
Would be
tutorial's
on that page?
webpage,
Okay.
yeah.
Great, so you can read up on it and learn and look at all those things.
We have paper instructions and the YouTube video.
Yeah, that's great. And if people had questions and they needed help, how can they contact the division directly?
Yeah, our toll-free number.
Yeah.
1-800-792-9745.
That's it.
That sounds familiar.
Okay, we'll make sure that's right. We'll put it up on the screen so people can see it and call. But it's nice to know that, you know, that they can go right to the website and find out and read more information about the programs that it's going to screen them for and the information they might need, and even a tutorial on how to fill out the application. I think that that's really a spectacular thing to provide for people, because sometimes it can be scary to think, like, what are they going to ask me, and how do I, you know, am I going to do this wrong, you know, and mess up my chances of getting, you know, enrolled in a program. So
and that's part of, you know, we're rolling this out now, and seniors who are tech savvy now and their caregivers obviously will use it. But we're really thinking almost of the next generation of seniors, because more and more are using Wi-Fi and they're using smartphones. So we really think that this will grow as we go along.
And I think that's the great thing, because we have to, with the ever increasing aging population and the how we're all getting older, it's to prepare for that next wave and the next folks who are going to need services, and not just our current seniors, but our future seniors. So this all seems to be headed in that direction.
One of the things I do want to remind, and we mentioned it, is our AAA offices in each of the counties and ADRCs, because they can help, whether you're tech savvy or you just want someone to help. But the good part about going and visiting them, they will screen you for all other programs and services that are in their counties. Right. So other things like Meals on Wheels, transportation, as Dennis mentioned earlier, all kind of services. So in addition to our New Jersey Save application, they do a wonderful job. They are our boots on the ground. They are our partner. We couldn't do the job without them.
Yeah, I think that's just another great reminder and boost for the County Office on Aging to know that in addition to NJ Save, there are other programs you might be eligible for, and they can tell you more about those. So just delighted to have both of you here with us again. I really want to thank you for your time and for sharing this information with our audience, and I hope people go to the website and check out NJ Save and see if it can help them as well. So thank you both for your time. And thank you for watching this episode of Aging Insights. For more information and to watch previous episodes, you can go to our website, which is www.njfoundationforaging.org, and click on the Aging Insights page. Aging Insights is produced by the New Jersey Foundation for Aging and is made possible by sponsors and donations from viewers like you. To become an Aging Insights sponsor, please go to our website or call us in the office at 609-421-0206. And to find out about the senior services in your area, please do contact your county office on Aging. You can find those numbers on our website, or you can call the state hotline at 1-877-222-3737. Thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time.